this is Amy. Thanks so much for stopping by. This evening I'm going to do something a little bit different. I would like to start adding to my channel some different techniques that you can do on walls, or maybe even a background of a painting that you want to do, just to give you some different ideas. I'm doing this on palette paper, not doing it on an actual wall, but this is just a quick sample of what you might be able to do to a wall in your home, or like I said, if you're going to be painting anything really, you might want to do some kind of a fun background to paint your design on. I'm using Berry Wine, the Folk Art enamels, for my sample. You would use, of course, your wall paint, whatever color you decided to do. For the purpose of this painting, I'm just using a sponge to paint it quickly on the palette paper. For your walls, of course, you can use a roller, or there are sponges that you can actually paint walls with as well. Whatever you prefer to do. I would recommend mixing your paint with some type of a glaze or medium that actually will give you some time to work with the paint, just so that it stays a little bit wet longer, in order for you to be able to have a chance to go back and add your design. Now when you're doing a design like this, or any type of a ragging or something to that effect, you want to kind of do it in random patterns. For the purpose of this demonstration, I'm just going to show you quickly how to do it in this small section, but you might just kind of do it randomly so that it doesn't look like you're actually setting it up to be one strip here, another strip here, right beside each other, and it's more of a random pattern. For this, I'm going to use wax paper, and I just crumple it up, and I want to make sure that I don't have any set lines per se, because my sample that I did, I actually had a line that went through it because the paper was crumpled across the paper with the actual line developed in the crinkling. And then what I'm going to do is just place it down on top of the paint, again while it's wet. I don't have a medium in this paint because I'm doing such a quick sample of it, demonstration. I don't need it. But for your wall, if you're painting like your whole wall, which I would recommend doing, and then going over the wall with your paper in sections, and then just kind of mush it down to make sure that you're actually getting all of the paint in that area actually covered with the wax paper. For some reason this one wants to stick. And there are some lines there. If you don't like those, you can actually put the paper back down and kind of redo it to see if you can get some of those out. If that's okay with your design style, that's fine. You could also, if you would prefer to do it where you actually just crumple up the paper and go across the wall with it and pull some of the paint off, that would be fine too, like doing like this. It's at a darker spot here, so I just kind of went back in here to kind of remove some of that so it doesn't look blotchy, and that works as well. I like it. I think it's a neat look. Now, what I recommend if you're doing a wall is to, whatever paint you're using to actually do each section, like say even if you're doing a whole room, if you're paint each wall the base color that you want it to be, and then if you're ragging a color on, rag that color on all over your walls, or with the wax paper, do it all over your walls. If you then want to add another color, then go back in and add that next color, but do it all over the walls. Don't try to do one wall and think that you're going to get it to look like another wall by starting and finishing one wall at a time. That's very difficult to actually get them to match. So whenever you're doing this, my suggestion is to start with the one color, go around the whole room. If you're just doing one wall, that's great, but do the whole wall, that whatever technique you're using. And then if you want to add another color, go back in and add another color all over that whole entire section before you move on to another color or another technique, whatever you're doing, because you can do different techniques on top of each other. So again, this is just a quick demo, something I want to add to my channel. If you like the faux effects, please give me a big thumbs up, like, share, and then you will see more of these tutorials as time goes on. I will be creating different techniques for you. Again, in a small surface, definitely different than working on a wall, but for the basis of doing a video, I cannot paint every wall in my house a different technique in order to show you a different technique each time. I'm sure you understand that. So again, this is just a very basic technique, base coating a wall or canvas or whatnot, and then crumpling up the wax paper, laying it down on it, making sure you put it down, touch it, and get it to cover the whole area that's been painted, so the paint, will pull some of the paint off. And again, like I showed you, if you have a spot that maybe is a little bit darker than what you wanted it, you can actually go back over it with just the crumpled up paper, or you could actually just crumple up the paper in a ball and do it that way as well, without laying it flat on the surface. Two different types of styles, either one is fine. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know your questions, make comments below if you would. And again, if you like this series, please subscribe and give me a big thumbs up. I appreciate it. Thanks so much.